Hi, good afternoon, everybody. I'm Sheila Rayam at the Democrat and Chronicle, and today we're continuing our music coverage from the Xerox Rochester International Jazz Festival. We've heard some great music this week, and we've had some great artists in studio, and we are continuing the fun today. I have with me two members from the reggae band Noble Vibes, Deanna McKenzie and Jason Muskoff. Deanna, Jason, hello.
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
How are you guys doing?
Thanks for having us down, Sheila.
Oh, glad you're here. I'm glad you're here. So, Noble Vibes plays tonight, right? 7, 9 at the Avangrid Foundation RG&E Fusion Stage, and it is drum roll free.
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 Everybody, it's free.
It's
yes.
free. So, if you want to hear some good reggae, you know where to go tonight. So let's jump into it.
Sure.
The big question.
Yeah.
How do Western New Yorkers decide that they want to be a reggae band? Reggae.
It's a little bit difficult if there's not, a big Caribbean population. You really have, and you haven't grown up with the music. You have to take people that may have not grown up with that and kind of teach you the music and, make a band. You have to make a band. It's not like there's a plethora of musicians out there. So that's what, we've tried to do. So that's really part of the process, and it takes a little bit longer and just to get the same product. Yeah. Right.
Deanna, you're a vocalist.
I'm the lead singer.
Lead singer. So, again, for you, did you have a sort of a personal love of reggae? How did it spark for you to make you want to sort of be the lead vocalist?
Well, I've been involved in reggae like my whole life. I grew up in the east side of Rochester. It's a really diverse community right there. And my mom, she's from Brooklyn, and so like we grew up hearing like every single flavor of the world in my house on the radio. And so I fell in love with reggae personally, like hardcore, when I was a kid, like 12. And I've been addicted ever since, like give me more, give me more. And I started off, when it comes to like taking it seriously and trying to like really be a singer when I was a teenager, I started off singing on sound systems, sound boys. And things like that, and which is singing over the instrumental versions of reggae beats. It's really common in the culture. I grew up around a lot of Jamaicans, Yardies, in my neighborhood and in my family that have really been like supportive and pushed me into that direction. Really thought that I should really pursue it. And like years ago, about 2004, that's when I met Jason. And I was going through something in my life at the time, to be honest. I was having a really frustrating moment one day, and I was going to head out the door to go do something, and I heard on the radio there's an audition for a reggae band, and I auditioned for another band 13 years ago, and that's how I met Jason. And that band, people had lives, and it kind of came apart a few years down the line, but then he and I, we've worked together on and off over the years between then and now, and for the past 5 years now we have Noble Vibes. So we have a common goal, common interest, and
Jason, for you, why does reggae, why does the music appeal to you? What is it about it?
Well, there's a lot of melody, and it's a very strong music at the same time it is being mellow. There's just something about it. There's a vibe that I don't feel is present in some other music. And that's not a slam on anybody else. It's just for me personally, that's what I like, and I like how it makes people feel and how it also establishes a sense of community, bringing a lot of people from diverse cultures together. I mean, you can go to most reggae concerts in Brazil or France, and there's hundreds of thousands of people from different people, all walks of life. So, and we try to bring that aspect to when we're doing a show. You'll see a lot of different kinds of people, and I think the music speaks to that. And Deanna is also one of the songwriters, and someone that can be here today. Our other co-songwriter and music director, Steve Galbraith, writes a lot of this too. So he couldn't be with us today, so Steve, is a shout out to you.
And also lead guitarist.
Yeah, lead guitarist too, yeah. So the three of us kind of formed this back in 2011.
Okay,
right.
Okay. Yeah. If you're just joining us, I'm here with Deanna and Jason, both members of Noble Vibes, who perform tonight, 7, 9, Fusion Stage, downtown. Show is free. If you have questions, go ahead and throw them in the Facebook chat, and I'll try to scroll up and answer the questions if I see them. Sure. So you mentioned the band members earlier. That's actually was on my list. Why don't you go ahead and tell me how many members are in the band and name everybody so that they get a little love too.
Well, we have Joe Randazzo on drums and percussion. We have Jesse Herrera, who's our newest member, on bass.
He's wicked.
Yes, he is.
Big up, Jesse.
And then we have
Andy just had a baby. He's in
yes.
on
Congratulations.
Father's Day. The baby was born on Father's Day. It's amazing.
We have another keyboardist slash flute player, singer, Nefertari Penna. You know, she can be here today as well. And then we have a couple of auxiliary musicians, Matt Bond and Nick Moses, playing trumpet and trombone with us today.
Okay.
So.
All right. Sweet. Sweet.
Yes.
So, Deanna, another question for you, because I know you're a songwriter as well. The process of writing a song, simple as, or is it a torturous?
Sometimes it's simple. Sometimes the whole song will just happen, and I have to call Steve and tell Steve, I have a song, and I'll videotape myself singing it and doing whatever it is, and show it to him, and we'll go from there. Or sometimes he'll come up with this amazing instrumental and only have a chorus, and then send that to me, and then I'll fill in all the gaps. It just depends on what's happening at the moment, you know. So it's sometimes it can be a little bit tedious if you're aiming specifically at one particular, like one specific topic. That's the only time it can really seem a little bit like hard, you know. Like when you're allowed to be free, and then it just comes right on out depending on how you feel. That I feel like I flow better that way, to be honest.
Jason, you play keyboards, right?
Yep.
So talk to me a little bit about some of the, what you would call those key musical influences over the years that have sort of touched you and made you want to elevate your keyboard game.
Well, I really liked gospel and soul music first, and rock and roll and a lot of that stuff. And then I saw a concert somewhere, and I was like, wow, that's really cool. And I got myself a couple of reggae CDs back in the early '90s. And I was actually in Houston when that happened. And then I just started getting involved with it more and more. And I met some other musicians locally here that had an opening slot for a keyboard player, and that was the Reggae Outcasters. And we were together about 6 years. And then I would, because reggae music's kind of a passed down thing, you don't really go to school for it, I would, you know, try to watch people that we were opening up for I saw Shaggy or the Wailing Souls or Black Guru and these other artists. I would try to watch their keyboard players to see what they were doing and emulate it, because there's not really a lot out there, even on the internet, about it. You know, so you kind of learn it that way.
Okay, we have a question.
Sure.
So V wants to know if you guys are downtown tonight. The answer is yes. Noble Vibes performs tonight, 7 and 9 at the Fusion Stage. That's Chestnut and East Ave?
East Avenue, yeah. It's a white tent.
So it's white tent. Downtown, 7 and 9, free show, Noble Vibes. You will see them there. So thanks for asking that question. Another question for you guys. I was reading your bio a little bit. You have 2 CDs out? Is
2
that
CDs,
correct?
and I have the very first one for you, Sheila.
Oh!
And some Noble Vibes bracelets.
Yes. Oh, bracelets. Look at
There
that.
you
Look
go.
at that. Look at that.
You come with bearing gifts.
Well, you know, I'm going to have to review this for work purposes, but I appreciate you dropping this down here. I definitely am. So let's talk a little bit about tonight's show. What will folks hear? Will they hear original music, other music, stuff from your album? What are some of the things they're going to hear tonight?
Oh, go ahead, Gina.
Going to hear a combination of originals from the 2 albums that we have, and also like some really classic cover tunes that are, you know, like really highly demanded out of our regular reggae listeners. And so, yeah, a good combination of both. Yeah, definitely.
Will people be able to dance?
Oh, yes.
Without a doubt.
They won't be
Bring
able to
their
help
dancing
themselves.
shoes.
Clear the tables.
Clear the tables, get them out of the way.
Yep. Mash it up.
So I also saw in the bio, either some of you or all of you, have you sort of shared the stage with some groups like the Wailers? Who else? Third World?
Third World, yeah, a couple of years ago.
Circle.
Okay.
Yeah, Circle, yeah.
Give us the dish.
The dish.
Was it a cool experience or a wacky experience? I want to know.
Cool.
Oh, it's always a cool experience. It's never bad. I mean, the logistics of getting multiple bands and sound checks and stage, that's just something that you go through.
Right.
It's fine,
part of
you
it.
know. And you really get a chance to see, you know, veteran performers or, you know, nationally touring acts, how they do things, and, you know, you try to pick up little things, and, you know, it's a lot of
Twice
fun.
we've shared the stage with the Wailers. We shared the stage once at
that's right, yeah.
Party in the Park a couple years back, and just recently up there at Park Point,
Park Point,
out at
yeah.
RIT.
Yep.
Right.
And both experiences with them, they're always like so warm and friendly, and it's just the crowd that comes for those kind of shows too. They're really like family. It's just like everybody that, oh, you again, oh, I've seen you 1,000 times.
Right.
So it's like Rochester's reggae crowd in general it's really tight knit, very welcoming and warm crowd. So yeah, it's really cool. You get to see like all these OGs up there doing their thing. You get to learn, and then on top of it, they, you know, they're really warm, and so it's always a really pleasant and
we've always
fun
had a good
experience. Yeah.
Okay.
You know.
That's
You
good.
know, also, we're going to be at the Carrot Fest too with Elephant Man and Tonto Metro and Devontae and Kevin Little. So that's going to be. Actually, I think I'm going to have a blast at that. I'm going to have
12th,
to have a few drinks at that one.
Yeah, that's going to be fun.
That'll be over at Manhattan Square or Martin Luther King.
Yep, that's
Right.
August 12th. August
That'll be a
12th.
lot of fun.
So there are plenty of opportunities to hear you guys coming up then locally. All right, so if you could describe your sound in a couple of short sentences. I want both of you to take your own crack at this.
You first.
Describe your sound for the listeners so they'll know what they're going to be in for when they come and see you tonight at 7 and 9, or 9.
Uplifting, fun, and heavy at the same time.
Got it. All right.
Now we have a kind of a 70s style. You know, we were going back and trying to pay homage to, you know, Gregory Isaac, some of that 70s sound, lovers rock, and then we have, you know, our original sound too that's tainted with that. So,
All right.
yeah.
Okay.
So
Good stuff.
rockers, originals, and what's the third?
Lovers rock. Yeah.
Lovers rock.
Lovers rock. Yeah, it's a reggae term. It's a certain style of music that's very popular.
Got it. Jason, Deanna, thank you so much for coming.
Oh, absolutely.
And I want to thank everybody for tuning in today. Reminder, Noble Vibes performs tonight, 7 and 9, at the Big White Tent. It's the Fusion Stage, downtown. Admission is free. And for more coverage on the Xerox Rochester International Jazz Festival, be sure to tune in to DemocratandChronicle.com. And then be sure to come back tomorrow's my last local artist of the week. We've been having a good time.
Oh,
and thanks for joining us, and see you guys again soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We had a lot of
Thanks.
fun.